Good morning. Some of you did not get a chance to ask any questions or really talk about the Road of Trials project. So I wanted to do a video to kind of run through the expectations of the project, the goals of the project, why we're doing it, etc. Okay. Um, so the Road of Trials is a stage of the hero's journey, right, where the hero faces trials and tribulations, gets tested, faces challenges, faces enemies, etc. And there are a lot of books in the Odyssey that display the Road of Trials, or that are kind of part of that stage of the hero's journey. And we are going to be breaking those books up into groups and presenting back on what you learned. So the main four books that describe Odysseus's Road of Trials, or Odysseus's Trials, are books 9, 10, 11, and 12. So four separate books. You should have received your book assignment. So for that book, you're going to read that book and summarize the book and be prepared to present on it on this coming Monday. You should have a team unless you elected to work individually, which is fine as well. Groups of 1 to 5. In first period, I okayed one group of 6, but other than that, it should be groups of 1 to 5 to present on your assigned book. So Thursday, you should start reading the book as a group, talk about it, make sure you all understand the main plot points and characters, and then we'll dive into the rest. You have the bulk of Friday and then over the weekend to finish the Road of Trials project, okay? Remember, you're just presenting on your assigned book. The goals are close reading. Got to know your book really well to be able to analyze and present on it. Understand how archetype works. So you're going to connect the concept of archetypes to the Odyssey or your book. Present confidently, effectively, in a way that engages the audience. Use minimal content on your slides. Use the most important info only. We worked on that in the free speech unit. We really only just want visual aid and some bullet points for your slides. Otherwise, your audience is strictly just going to be looking at your content on your slides and not you and what you're doing and what you're teaching and presenting. Okay? Present with confident posture, voice, etc. And then the main goal of this whole thing is to inform an audience on a topic new to them. Remember, to demonstrate audience awareness, right here, remember that your audience hasn't read the book. They're not going to be familiar with the story. So you can't just jump right into analysis. You're going to have to summarize that plot first, okay? Since your audience hasn't read your assigned part yet, okay? All right, so let's take a look at, let's see, in groups of 1 to 5, plan a 7 to 15 minute presentation on your assigned book. If you are presenting just yourself, then go ahead and just plan more of a 7-ish minute presentation. If you have a group of 5, you're going to be pushing maybe 15 or longer on your presentation, okay? The more people in your group, the more detailed the presentation should be, okay? And then you're also, again, expected to explain how the concept of archetypes affect your assigned book. So let's see. For example, one group a couple years ago in 2021 talked about like the shadow and how the shadow archetype villain influenced the assigned book that they had, okay? And they also talked about like familiar examples from pop culture and film. Your presentation needs to include, and you decide what order you want to do this in, a detailed summary, including embedded, sandwiched, and married quotes. Make sure you cite your quotes. You got to write that as a team, probably on Thursday after you finish reading it. A freeze frame of your assigned book, or a skit. Basically display it, like provide some visual aid to explain what happened in your book. And these can be combined so you can have somebody read the summary as, the other 2 members of your team are like acting it out briefly. You might choose to put up a couple photos or a couple like background images while you do that on your slides. You need some explicit connections between how to read literature like a professor, the concept of archetypes, and your assigned book of the Odyssey. So you need some quote connections on basically the concept of archetypes. When you do the how to read literature like a professor homework, this one, outlining practice, you're going to go ahead and complete this for homework, and then you're going to connect it to to the Odyssey, or to your book of the Odyssey. Okay. You need some visual aids on each slide. Keep it, don't make it boring. No more than 2 slides per person. So that means that you're kind of limited as to how you break it up, unless, of course, you're an individual presenter, and then you can have more slides. Again, keep it minimal with your slides. You need at least 2 supporting quotes from the textbooks we've been working with. So that would include How to Read Literature Like a Professor and the Foundations textbook in the classroom. You should have some quotes on there on archetypal settings, archetypal plot, and then characters as well. And then, of course, a works cited page. Notice how it says a works cited page, not a works cited slide. So you'll need a works cited whole page citing the Odyssey and Foundations textbook. You don't have to cite How to Read Literature Like a Professor. All right. So I think that's all I want to go over. Again, as long as you are meeting the goals of the assignment, you should be good to go. Please discuss these directions with your team and go over the rubric as well to make sure you're meeting the expectations. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing these presentations on Monday. Thank you.